Hello everybody, hope you can hear me well. Streaming live, palmistry Q&A today. Same as last week. The scheduler didn't work. I tried to click on the join the scheduled time, and for some reason the go live button is missing on this platform. So I'm not very happy with Streamlabs. Hashtag Streamlabs not happy. Pay lots of money for this software and it doesn't work properly. So anyway, if there's any experts out there that can help me out, I would much appreciate it. Why is the join live button missing from my scheduled streams? Who knows? But anyway, I've hit live, found another live button. It's not the scheduled one. So if people are waiting for it to start on the scheduler, that's not going to happen, sadly. So hopefully no one is waiting for that particular one, because it's going to keep saying that it's upcoming. I'll try and change it on my I'll go to my phone. I'll try and delete it from there. Anyway, welcome. If you have any questions, welcome to ask me anything about the palm lines. I'm going to be talking about this picture that I have here. For starters, to start explaining some things, and then you can interrupt me anytime. Welcome to say hi, don't be shy. See, it's still saying upcoming for the other one. I have to delete that one, sadly, and redo it. So that's okay. The scheduler failed me 2 weeks in a row now. So let me know if you can hear me okay, or if you can't hear me. I'm not sitting here in silence. I don't do sign language. I should learn sign. Everyone should learn sign language. For when we can't hear each other, we can just give the sign language, other than, you know, other than the Aussie greet. Anyway, I can babble on, or I can get on with it. So let's get on with it. We've got the bigger palm here that I'm going to be drawing on. The small one on the side is just there for looks, for happy. Welcome Erica Ruby, thank you for joining. I'm glad you can hear me. That's good, because I moved my microphone and I'm scared that moving the microphone will do something weird, because it doesn't take much for things to fail around here. Like you said last week, that Mercury retrograde business. Hopefully that's all over now. But anyway, I just found this palm photo on my computer. I don't know who it belongs to. But I just thought there was a couple of interesting things that I could start the conversation. And I was going to start with this headline that starts above the lifeline. Oh, it hasn't started. Oh, how long does it go for? How long does it go for if it hasn't even started? Wow. Anyway, try not to pre-retrograde shadow. Oh, I'm trying not to focus on that too much, and I'll just get on with my life. Planets can go backwards all they want. I'm going to keep pushing forwards. Welcome Tamzart. Hello South Australia. Thank you too for being here. 4 weeks it goes for this retrograde. Okay, we do talk astrology here sometimes. I know it's a palmistry Q&A, but like Erica and Jeannie and many of my followers who join me here, we often discuss palmistry because astrology, psh, poor brain. We talk astrology a lot because it comes up in conversation a lot, because we might be discussing the Venus mount, for example. We might be discussing the moon mount or the Mars mounts, and all of these come from astrological terms, don't they? So when somebody has a strong Venus sort of alignments in their charts, they might have strong Venus mount. Somebody who has a very strong moon, like if their moon sign is very strong sign, or they have many planets around the moon in conjunction or whatever. Listen to me pretending I know. So they might have a large moon mount, and you know, somebody who's got strong Jupiter qualities in their chart might also have strong Jupiter qualities on the index finger, so under the index finger, things like that. So I love how astrology can, in a way, go together with palmistry, and that's why we often talk about it together, and I don't mind. I enjoy it very much. I've been into astrology as long as I've been into palmistry. However, I never studied astrology from a astrologer's perspective, so I can't remember and tell you where all the houses are and what they mean and all that sort of stuff, but I've been interested in it for a very long time. I've been reading, you know, all my families and friends' horoscopes and their kind of charts and about their personality, just to get to know everyone. So Tamza, you said you have so much water in your chart. Oh, okay. I do. If you call the Scorpio very watery, it's not really, but I do have a lot of water too. Water and a lot of earth. I'm mostly Virgo and Scorpio. I've got like 5 Virgo and 5 Scorpio like around my planet. So someone said, oh, all that water and earth makes mud, and I just laughed. I'm thinking my brain is sometimes like mud. So very interesting. So funny, I don't have a water hand though, even though I've got a lot of water. I don't have a water hand. I have more of a earth fire hand. Erica says, finding the headline matches the moon placements. Oh, that's interesting. Water and earth, you are mud, lol. Yeah, that's it. I'm mud. My brain is mud because all the water. But then there's not a lot of fire, I don't think, in my chart, but it's funny, I have a lot of fire in my personality, and it shows in my hand with the big palm and the shorter kind of fingers. So I have very, very earth fire hand. I'd have to look at my chart a bit more to see how much fire is in there. I don't think I have any air. I think the air is gone. No Libra or no air. I think some people just don't have, they're missing a part altogether, and I think I'm missing a part. It makes sense to me. So it's good if your headline matches. I find that my moon, I have a very strong moon and Pluto, so my moon and Pluto match my chart for sure. Do I do tropical astrology or Vedic? I don't do Vedic. I've not looked into that much. Only reason why I know a little bit about Vedic palmistry is because I have several Indian friends who are astrologers, and they do Vedic astrology and they often talk about it, but I haven't really looked into that. So more Western astrology, I think they call it. So that to me is quite accurate, so I just stick to that one, because I find that sometimes the Vedic one differs so much that almost, for example, if someone's in the Western astrology is a Scorpio, the Vedic might say that they're a Libra or something like that. So it just varies to me too much that I don't tend to bother with it. That's where you might have those elements that you think you're missing. Yeah, I can't remember for sure if I'm missing them completely, because I haven't looked at my chart thing for a long time. But yeah, I just remember going through and remembering something wasn't there at all, and I think it was air, but anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, so we were talking about this separation here of the headline and the lifeline. Talk about getting sidetracked. And that's unlike this picture where the headline is joined together, so it shows a bit more of that security, I think, in the early phase of life, feeling like they need the security from the family, and having a little bit of insecurity too, I suppose. I'm just got to move this chat. We have the chat box up here on the screen. I'll leave that on the screen, only because sometimes the people watching like to see it too, so I'll put that on there and get rid of that lines on there. Yeah, so the join together headline gives that person that little bit of insecurity where they want to sort of hang on to the security of the family. And someone with the separated lines, they don't have that. They are more free, outgoing, adventurous, like more independent. So they have that feeling of independence that they don't necessarily need that strong connection to the family. They might have a strong connection to the family, but they don't have that need, or that what is it when you're dependent on someone. So not dependence on family, so very independent, sort of in every aspect, financially or just their general personality. So that can be a disadvantage if the person has other features that sort of go towards that, I suppose, risk taking. So making decisions without thinking of the consequence and the insecurity side of it. So lacking that insecurity, people might be jumping into doing things without proper consideration, and just I suppose being more spontaneous, I think. Yeah. All right, go back to seeing what's being said in the chat. Erica says, Vedic and Western are both accurate. They're just different perspectives. Looking down from the 4th floor balcony or from the 20th floor balcony. Tropical Western looks at the sky. Yep. Yep, okay, yep. Tamzar says Sun, rising, moon, Neptune in Scorpio. Sun, rising and moon and Neptune in Scorpio and a stellium in Leo. Mars, Uranus and Mercury. Is that yours, Tamzar? Or is that mine? Because I know mine is mine is something like that. Mine's got all the Sun, rising, moon and Neptune in Scorpio. I can't, yeah, don't remember those other things. Erica says, with the tilt of the Earth, Vedic astrology looks at the sky without the tilt of the Earth, as if the Earth was completely vertical. Flat Earth people. Flat Earthers. That's the difference between the two. Thank you for that. I did not know. That is interesting. Tamzar says it gets confusing. This is really cool. Of course, I have been interested in the palms but never looked at it. That is yours. So your chart, your Sun, rising and moon and Neptune in Scorpio, that is so similar to mine. Not even kidding. Just before I get on. Oh, flat Earth. Flat Earth. I'm just for fun, because we are on this subject, I'm going to go. I can't believe that's yours, Tamzar. In Scorpio, that is so much like mine. Are we sisters? I'm just scrolling through my million photos because I do have my screenshot of my charts in here somewhere. I have to take my glasses off, I can't see. Yeah, definitely. I should have my chart done by Vedic and see what they have to say. Okay, I found it. Here it is. No, I do have all the qualities. There's just more strength in the other ones. Just trying to find. Sun. Where does it say where all those things are? Here they are. My Sun, these are all in Scorpio for me. Sun, Moon, Mercury, Neptune, Ascending, Fortune. So the ascending is the rising. Yeah, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lined up in Scorpio. And in Virgo, I have Venus, Jupiter, Uranus, Pluto, and MC. Whatever the MC is. So that's very interesting. Heaps of Virgo. I've got Aries is I found it, my fire sign is Sagittarius and Aries. Got a couple of Aries and a couple of Sagittarius. And my Earths are Capricorn. My South Node is supposed to be in Libra. But anyway. Oh, Sun in Cancer. Okay, okay, okay. Taurus rising. Neptune and Jupiter in Scorpio. Okay, okay, okay. That's okay. Yeah, I know. Sometimes when you're typing, you miss a few words. That's all right. Erica says there's a free one here. Just click on the corner option, download free PDF. Free one. Free one. Click the corner option. What free? What are we talking about? What's a free PDF? What free PDF? Where are we clicking? I want to know. Where are we clicking? Have we got anyone on Facebook? I should put up my multi-stream chat. That's loading. Oh, your right hand is in a splint. Oh. Oh. Oopsie. There's a link. I can't see a link. Anyway, where are you, on Facebook or YouTube? No, you're on YouTube. Yeah, okay, I'm streaming from my Streamlabs, so I thought you were talking about in the chat. I thought there was a link in the chat. That's all right. All good. All good. All right, where are we? Where were we? I'll find my pen back. All right, so this person who has this somewhat reckless but very independent nature, I suppose they will make their decisions and not have to worry about, I suppose, asking for other people's opinions. Oh, so it is in a chat. I don't think it's letting it. I don't think that links are allowed, maybe. I'm not sure. Well, I'll look into that. Might be in the settings that I've got. So, yeah, I'll have to look into that. I'm not sure. I think some subscribers were allowed to do links, and people who weren't subscribers couldn't do links. There was some sort of a situation like that. I'm not sure. Anyway, so going back to this hand of this person who has very independent nature, so they would have started their career very early as well, and they would have not needed their parents' help, so to speak, early. And she has a what's called a ambition achievement line that rises from the lifeline at a very early age. And if I time this from the rough estimate, if we draw a line from the edge of the index finger down, that lines up on the lifeline approximately the age of 21, which is usually when the person becomes an adult. So on her palm she has this ambition line that rises around that age. At the same time, you can't really see it probably on your screen, but she has this like a split. It's a very fine split at the same time on the lifeline. So where this achievement is achieved around the age of 21, the lifeline separates for a little while and continues along on a new path. So this split is representing her change, quite an important change in her life after this achievement, which was completion of her studies. So she completed the study and made this change, and it shows as a big shift on the lifeline. Later on, she has more changes, and they can show up like forks. Forks, they can show up like with little support lines, and these are like her retirement age. So there is a lot of family stuff going on. When a person has a lot of family stuff going on, there will be like rising lines coming from the bottom of the lifeline, so that may be looking a bit messy, but they're usually just more stronger connections to family, and more than likely having grandchildren, things like that, being involved in more people's lives. Whereas through the main part of the lifeline, there's not that much interruption, although she has several achievement lines along the way. So she not only has, she's even got a little one here, so not only has the achievement line around the 21, she's got these achievement lines along the way for other things that she's been done in her life. So interesting if we were to know what all these little achievements were. And on her fate line, which changes, it starts in the moon mount, but there's a little change here too. Starts quite deep in the moon mount, and then there's a little change, and then goes in a quite a steady direction until about age 35. So that steady direction on the lifeline would be like almost halfway along the lifeline. So that steady direction is more than likely just the one career, sticking to the one career. And around 35 it shifts a little bit, and then goes quite steady, and there's another fate line next to it. So it's a double fate line later on. So these secondary achievements after 35 are showing this change around the 35 on the fate line. And the doubling of the fate line is potentially she's found a secondary income, or she's found a new line of her business, career, or projects. So that secondary line is representing another line of work, another line of income source, or another line of study. Sometimes a double fate line can represent a person who is like a business partner, or a person who is supporting that person financially. And often it is a business related thing. So very interesting on there. And Tamzat says, I have moon shape M's on both palms. Moon shape M's. Are you talking about that, the large M across the whole palm, which doesn't have any meaning, by the way? I know that's a very popular thing on the internet, these M's, but they don't actually have any meaning. So if you look at this hand, you could make out an M in there too, you know, if you line up some of these lines, you know, kind of an M, but M's don't really mean anything as a letter on their own. So say if a person has the heart line and where the fate line connects, and then they have the headline and the lifeline, they are literally just making coincidental crossings. And if their fate line is not here at all, and if it's literally so that it looks like an M, all it means is that the headline is probably short. It means that the fate line starts around 35. Around 35, the person's career would have got stronger. And if it stops at the heart line to make it a perfect M, so in this scenario, we would be disregarding this part of the line doesn't exist, that doesn't exist, that doesn't exist. So for it to look like an M, all it means is a shorter heart line, shorter headline, short lifeline, and the main part of their life, the fate line career, is between 35 and 50, and around age 50, if the line stops, means that around 50 they will probably change their career dramatically, potentially retiring. Unless there's a line up here, then that represents like success after 50. So maybe they made enough money at 50, and then they have this success line that might represent that they have enough money to continue without having to work for their money. But if these lines flow through, if the headline flows through, and if the fate line flows through, we can still, you know, go cross-eyed looking for the letter M there. Yes, you can make out a letter M, but it does not mean anything at all. So I have written articles about this. I've got like several videos about it. Probably I get annoyed at the palm readers that just make up this stuff just for attention, and they want the views, they want everyone to click on it because they want everyone curious about palmistry, but they're going about it the wrong way. They're trying to trick people, and then that gives palmistry a bad name. But palmistry doesn't have a bad name itself. It's the people who talk shit that make other people very skeptical about palmistry. I've spoken to so many people who are absolutely skeptical about any sort of a palm reading because of those people who make it speculate and, you know, make up all the bullshit. Yeah, Jeannie, you're here. We were secretly talking about you. No, we weren't. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I did mention you that we were talking about astrology a lot on this palmistry Q&A. We often talk about astrology, and that's how we started out. If you didn't hear it earlier, if you didn't hear the earlier chats, we were into talking about the stars again. Often goes into the stars. So, yeah, you made it. Yay. What time is it there? What time is it there, everybody? Oh, South Australia, you'd probably be similar to my time. But was that Tamzart? You're in South Australia. That's probably similar time, maybe an hour sooner. That's okay, Jeannie. You can go back for a replay if you wanted to. It wasn't a great deal. We were just having just saying how astrology is interesting and how the palmistry goes together with it so much. Okay, Jeannie's 9:38 p.m. Woo, woo. I'm rarely up at that time of night. I'm too old. 12:08 in South Australia. Okay, it's 11:39 here. So South Australia is a different time. What temperature today? Oh, yesterday was like 40 degrees Celsius. It was an oven. Yesterday was an oven. It was absolutely a fan-forced oven because there was wind, like a westerly, northerly wind, and it was so hot. It felt like it was a blowtorch of flames, like the sun was coming down. That's what yesterday was. I instantly got sunburned. I walked from my house to the garage and it was like rays. I looked up at the sky and thinking, that's the hole in the ozone right there. Hole in the ozone. Today it's raining. So after that massive heat wave, now it's raining and it's it's more pleasant. Let me see. Currently, my suburb, it's 21. It's 21 degrees Celsius. That's quite cool. Like, I've had my aircon set on that before. So it's lovely. It's lovely today. Yeah, compared to yesterday. Oh yeah, daylight savings in... You have daylight savings in South Australia. No, we don't have them in Queensland. Yeah. Jeannie's only up because I'm here. Yay! Sleep by 9 most nights. Should I do my streams a bit earlier? Or does it suit you better? Put the kids to bed. Yeah. So it was cold in South Australia as well. 11 degrees. Ow! Ooh. Well, you're a bit closer to the South Pole, so I suppose it is colder there in general. Erica misses the Brisbane rain and storms. We had big storms. Everyone's trees came crashing down and all sorts of things happened yesterday. Okay, back to the astrology. About the astrology, Jeannie says, I can usually tell what chart would look like by the hand and vice versa. I can look at the chart and describe the hands. People basically think I'm doing magic. Yeah. Pattern recognition. Yeah, of course. And if you understand the personality type of Mercurian or Jupiterian or somebody with strong moon or Venus qualities, if you recognize those qualities in the person too. So, yeah. Oh, kids go to bed at 8:30. That's good. What's Erica say? We lose an hour in November, so we are going to have an extra hour in 2025. Who needs that? Yeah. Yeah, I don't get it. Time is time. what are they going to do? The seasons are changing slowly because, you know, the planets are moving around, and then like summer's coming earlier and winter's coming later, and all these seasons are changing. So I don't know, you know, are they going to eventually say, oh, summer starts in October now instead of November? And like in the US, are they going to say, you know, winter starts earlier? Yeah, because I think they're changing a lot. I go by the creatures, the wild creatures help us discover, and the trees, when the leaves fall, that tells you it's fall or autumn. So yeah, where are we? Tamsa said it feels like we live opposite Kangaroo Island. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yes, very bizarre. Anyway, we've got some time to do more palmistry talk. If anyone's got any specific questions, happy to discuss something else. We've talked about the lifeline and the achievement lines and the fate line. And another interesting thing sometimes is the double fate lines. And she's got another one here too. So double fate lines, it kind of just represents the person who has several deep and meaningful goals or patterns that they follow in their life. So if you have these tracks, it's like having two different careers or two different money sources. I've seen many people have this success line that starts from the heart line. So it can represent finding your financial position finally, like in your 50s. A lot of people, I suppose, if their aim is to eventually retire, then they tend to try and get all the business end done before they turn 50. And if they continue being very busy till late in life, there's usually a matching fate line right to the end. People like that probably never retire, and they probably love it though. People that don't retire tend to not, because they love what they do. They love their work or their business or whatever. Erica says, do I find that people have better lines on their non-dominant hand? Not really. I think the better lines on the dominant hand represent the person has made improvements from their past. So if the non-dominant line has better lines, it means that the person maybe has not followed their heart, they haven't followed their plans and their aspirations, and maybe things have gone wrong, stuff didn't happen the way they wanted to happen, a family broke and the house fell down and the world came crashing down, and that can show up as the lines being worse on the dominant hand. So only time I think the lines are better on the non-dominant hand is usually like if there is current health problems. It shows that in the past there wasn't. So then the non-dominant hand would show much better lines. And but they do differ though. So by better, we would be thinking about quality of the line. So the quality of the line, we'd have to look at, is it steady, or does it have a lot of marks on it? So a line with a lot of marks would have like literally little crossing lines on them, and they represent obstacles and difficult times. It's funny, it doesn't take much to sort of change that. So if it's a crossing line, that's an obstacle, but if it's a line that just rises from there, which is not that much different, but that is an achievement line, and that's an obstacle line. So there's minute differences that make a difference. And then you have the stress lines that they can just cross right over, and that can form an obstacle during that phase where it crosses over the lifeline. And if it hits the fate line, that's usually a career obstacle. If it hits the headline, there's something going on mentally. The person may have had mental stress and it has affected them mentally. And or if it goes all the way to the heart line, then it would be an emotional situation that caused the stress and has caused a lot of emotional stress. And then you would look at, is there, you know, breakups going on or something that's causing that. So yeah, I got totally sidetracked, but yeah, the quality of the lines is, I suppose, the neater it is, the more steady that particular part of the person's life is. Steady lifeline is general steady life. Steady fate line is general steady career. Headline, steady mental attitude. Steady heart line, steady emotions. So any marks on them will disrupt the line a little bit. So Jeannie says, the way I see it, the non-dominant hand is like the birth chart. Shows what you came in with, and the dominant shows how those things have developed. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, so what you're kind of planning and how it actually turns out. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're similar. But as far as the quality of the lines, yeah, that can sometimes to do with health as well. Erica says, so the non-dominant hand is what we were supposed to do, and the dominant hand is what we end up doing. That's kind of where we're heading with it, yes. Although putting it that way, it sounds more like it's destined. I sometimes regret calling my website Destiny Palmistry. People get it wrong. They think, oh, destiny is destiny. But destiny is what you make destiny. But if for instance, your non-dominant hand has no fate line, it doesn't mean that you were born to have no career and have no aim and no goals in life. That's not what it means. So, and if the dominant hand has got the fate line, so that just shows that the person may have changed their way of thinking, or they may have taken a long time to decide what they're going to do in their life. So it's not so much as sort of what we are meant to do and what we actually do. So it's more like what we decide to do what decisions we make. Jeannie says, can't tell you how many people with dominant, non-dominant hands that look like they belong on different bodies. Yeah, I have had that too. Especially the lines, especially when you have someone with SIMIAN lines, so someone with a single crease instead of the headline and the heart line. Ginny says, I don't think there's a what you're supposed to do, but you may have natural gifts that you can develop, and if you work on it, you can see the characteristics of that in the dominant. Yeah, that's it. That's right. And I suppose it goes with the not just your gifts and talent, but it does actually go with your personality as well. So say if you were shy child, a quiet child, but then you matured and then things in your life made you become more outgoing and more extroverted, so then that can also show as a change in the personality, I suppose, in the dominant hand. Wonder if everyone's been chatting. Who's the people watching and not chatting? We've had people come and go. People have come and gone. If anyone's on Facebook and I've missed your chat, can you please speak now or forever hold your peace? I had someone on Facebook chatting and I didn't see them until almost at the end of the stream. So hopefully if anyone's on Facebook now, put your questions in and then I can potentially answer it. I've got 5 more minutes. Erica says, thank you for explaining this, Sari and Jeannie. No worries. You're welcome. So yeah, any more questions before we end the stream? Has everybody followed me on Facebook yet? Tamzad is listening. This is also interesting, Sari. So cool. Yes, definitely is interesting. Thank you for all the new followers too, by the way. Odawu followed. Tibu Goldfish followed. Thank you very much. Jennifer Neves, Christopher Gomez, Bibi Ramos came in a month ago. That was nice. Thank you for everyone who have subscribed and followed me and joined my channel. That is so good. I get more excited about doing more of these chats and live streams when there's more people who are committed by joining my channel, by becoming a VIP member, and that way seeing more of the good stuff as well. I don't see how it's 21 degrees here. I don't feel it. Right now it's hot. Oh, it might be my hot flushes. No, never mind. Jeannie says, I have found that often people have 2 different dominant elements in their hands, a lot of fire. Non-dominance with their water hand in the dominant, and the combination on and on. Yes, and welcome. Thank you for holding this space. Yes, I will hold this space. I will hold this space. Yes, so definitely the combination of elements is the interesting part. I've seen many pure water hands. I've seen many pure earth hands. pure air hands, even pure fire hands, but most of the time people have a combination of, like mine, I said, earth and fire. Some people might have air and earth, or they might have earth and fire, or they might have water and air. A lot of water hands have much sort of shorter fingers, and if they don't have water lines, they might have fire lines. So you might have the water fire combination, which is completely opposite. The water, you know, wet, fire, not wet. So, but amazing how people have those completely opposites in their hand, a water fire and earth fire, or the air fire. The combinations are totally opposite. Erica says, I have a long headline going into the mount of Pluto on the left hand, and a long headline going to the outer Mars. Would that indicate I'm internally one way but externally different? Yes, I would say so. If you have a more deep headline on the left hand, if left hand is your non-dominant, that would mean that you're more empathic, more emotional, more deep thinking on the inside. But if it goes to the outer Mars, then more practical is what you put out to the world. So you're more researching, more scientific. So the difference between emotional and empathic is the more practical, scientific and business-like manner is what might come out from the dominant hand. So yes, the headline is actually very important in the personality. I think it needs to kind of match the heart line. If the heart line is showing a passionate person, but the headline is not showing the intelligence and practical and steadiness, then that passion could be radical. It could be used in the wrong way. The person might do crime, for instance. So it's important to look at that headline. What else we got? Outer Mars on the non-dominant hand. So it goes to the Mars on the non-dominant, and it goes to the dips down on the dominant. So then on the inside, the more than likely be the more practical, and then the outside showing more of the empathic sort of emotional side. Jeannie says, I haven't got many earth hands. Those are hard to find, get readings. Most of them ones I know couldn't care less. Exactly. They're the skeptics, because they're so down to earth. They're so practical that if you even mention that word, they're gonna be like, what a load of shit. But we have to, when we see the earth hands, we have to speak to them in a more practical way. Make sure that they know it's not just fantasy and tea leaf reading kind of stuff. You know, it's more real. Thank you for being here. Yeah, thank you too. I appreciate it as well. Jeannie says, one thing I want to chat with you about some point is the tech and hands. I feel like a lot of people are getting the phone pinky deformity at the same time that the way we communicate is changing. Oh, because of the generation. You're saying like, yeah, the generation is now bringing out this phone pinky deformity. It's to do with communication, obviously, because we're communicating differently. Yeah, exactly. The reading of the hand in the picture was really good. Thank you for this session. You're welcome. Yes, one day have your palms read. We can do that. Have you joined? I have different membership levels. Certain membership levels I can do your hand picture here on this screen. I can even make a video about your hand. But if you want a private reading and you don't want it publicized, I do have readings available on my website, destinypalmistry.com. Jeannie says, in society as a whole, especially since the pandemic and astrologically speaking, yeah, that's true. Very true. And I've noticed the difference, not just in the whole world, but the differences are different in different parts of the world. Like, you have the main America, Australia and England tend to be like the general population of, we follow the same kind of stuff. But then you have the countries like India where things are still very different. You know, those countries where things are still very different. So the changes are different there as well. Right. That's Mercury, and we have Uranus entering Gemini, not to mention that Gemini rules the hands and the fingers. There you go. There you go. I'll have to look into that. Does that affect Geminis more when the planets are entering Gemini? Does that help an actual Gemini person? Or does it hinder them? Is it helpful energy for the Geminis? I wonder. Aquarius rules technology and communications, and it trines what's going on in Gemini. Pluto is transformation. Very interesting. Yeah, I know Pluto is transformation because that's my ruling planet. But yeah, we'll definitely do another palmistry astrology chat in the future, and we'll talk about these phone pinky deformities that that you mentioned. If you have specific photos that you want to show me, you can post it in the, I think you can post photos in the community, in the community section in YouTube, where it's got, is it called community, is it called posts now? I think they're actually posts on YouTube. In the posts, I think people can post pictures there. Oh, it depends on the house the person has Gemini in. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see. Well, yeah, the houses are different, aren't they? Yeah. Never mind. So if your sun is in Gemini, it doesn't make any difference. Erica says, has anyone watched Blood of Zeus on Netflix? No, I haven't. anime-based Greek mythology, 3 seasons, really good. Okay, so is it kind of real mythology? It sounds silly saying real mythology when it's a myth. Okay, so it's based on Greek mythology, so obviously they would have studied Greek mythology and brought that into the anime. Surely they didn't just make something up because it's anime. So, yeah. Might be worth it if you have Netflix. I don't have Netflix. People with heavy Gemini placements will feel it in multiple places. All the planets in that sign get affected and affects the house they rule. Yeah. I was only asking because my son is a Gemini, but I don't know where his placements are. I have not got his chart, but I could do that. Solid in God's stories. Okay. Yeah, it could be worth it. I should read into all of that stuff a bit more too. Might be helpful in the combination palmistry astrology. Interesting. Son of Zeus Heron is faked, is it? Aha. But still good. Okay. I don't have Netflix either. Just used one of those websites where you can watch these things. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see. Very good. I suppose getting into all of that, I do have a book. Hang on a minute, I'll just slide across. Because I do tarot reading, there's this tarot cards that I use. They're called mythic tarot, and the stories of like the gods and everything are in this book. It's really interesting because they might talk about the son of Zeus and all that sort of stuff. I've not read it. I haven't read this book, but I've looked through it here and there, and it does kind of teach about the mythology side of it, and it combines it into the tarot cards. And if you know that mythology, it makes it much easier to read this kind of cards. So should look into that a little bit more just for fun. Yes, it is nice, and they're good cards. Like I always use my Mythic Tarot because they have like a really clear picture on what's going on. So the Tower, for instance, like the old tarot cards is really hard to decide what's going on in the pictures, whereas the artwork in this, you kind of can make out what's happening, and so you can intuitively connect a lot better. What is the name? Sorry, are you talking to me? What is the name of the book? Oh, it's Mythic Tarot. Just the new Mythic Tarot. And that's the book, and you can buy the cards and the book separately. You don't have to buy them together. But I bought the book just for curiosity. You have art. That's nice. Goddesses. I love that. I love that. I want to get back into my art. I haven't got back into it because I lost my mojo. I think you know how you find a kind of a niche? I had a niche and then I steered away from it, and I need a new sort of a theme to work with to get excited about it. But definitely I love art, and if it's about goddesses, yours, that's a great idea. I think I love doing faces. I might go back to painting, not painting on it, painting faces. I paint ghost faces. Hi user, you're late. We're about to go. I've been painting like a psychopath. Have you? Oh, have you posted any of your work online? Can we see it? It's therapy, intuitive artist. Yeah, that's kind of makes sense. That's kind of it is very therapeutic. I used to paint depending on my mood. I paint what mood I'm in. Jeannie's a fire hand with 12 paintings going on at the same time. Oh, oh dear. Right for Halloween. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I have my ghost faces. I just gave one away. I gave away a painting that has, in the painting, looks like surf, sky, rocks. But all through the water and the sky is faces, ghostly faces. So I just gave that away because I thought no one's going to buy it, so I gave it away. Kirby's Tamzars has a channel since 2011. Still have not shared. I want to. Yeah, you should share. I want to see. I want to see. Yeah. Erica hasn't got an artistic bone in her body, except for photography. All right. And Kirby, no, I will not show my hand closer. Are you talking to me? I'm not showing my hand closer. I don't. We're not here to analyze me. Yeah. You can hear my birds. I'm surrounded by trees, so it's every bird you can imagine. I have chickens, but they're at the back. I don't think you can hear my chickens. But we've got plovers. Plovers are protecting their nest out the front. We've got magpies, we've got crows, we've got noisy miners, we got rainbow lorikeets, you name it. We've got about at least 10 different species of birds here. We've even got little pigeons, top-notch pigeons. Sometimes if the traffic isn't busy and there's no car noises, that's all we can hear is bird noises. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, I'm going to leave it at that for today. Now that was definitely a cockatoo. Now we have cockatoos as well. They're the loud ones. Yeah, cockatoo. Screaming, that's a cockatoo. Yep. And pigeons, yeah. We've got the top-notch pigeons. They've got the little thing and they walk around going like this. It's really funny. You live close to a lake. Yeah, okay. Anyway, that's been fun. Kirby, I'm sorry. If you want to do the replay, you can see all the palmistry chat that we had and astrology chats and whatnot. But it's been an hour and a quarter now, so I'll call it for today, and I will book another live stream. I might do one on Thursday this week, which for you guys will be Wednesday night if you're in the like Jeannie. I'm gonna try and do a Wednesday night one for you, and yeah, so Thursday it'll be Australian, it'll be Thursday about the same time. So I'll post that, and hopefully my scheduler work. I'm really want to test that schedule button is not working, so I need to find out what's going on with it. So cool. Thank you so much, and see you next time.